Hey guys, thanks for joining. Today we're going to take a look at transitioning to fall. And even though it's still hot here, it's the beginning of September. July and August were, every day almost over 100 degrees, from 100 to 110. It was just ridiculous. I did not garden during that time, so my garden's been kind of just sitting there waiting. And now it's time to prep the soil and get ready for a fall garden, even though it is going to be a small garden. Um, but let's take a look at the two areas that I'm going to focus on and how I prepare it and what I'm expecting to do with these beds. So stay tuned. Okay, so if you've been following my channel at all, you've probably seen most of this already. Some grow bags. This was a bed that I created mainly to hold soil, soil reclamation box, so to speak, because of all of the grow bags that I use. And you can see a bunch of them here. Some seasons, growing seasons, I would have up to 60 grow bags out here. But I've scaled it back, and I'm really growing more of the stuff that we eat repetitiously over and over, and stuff that I can or freeze, or that was stuff that will store longer. So I will be getting rid of some of these grow bags. You can see they're pretty stained. I will take the dirt out and try to wash some of these. Some of them I'm not going to keep. I'll just toss them. I got a bunch of grow bags in storage that are in better condition than these. Some of these were experimental bags that I was doing. So anyway, these have just been sitting out here breaking down, and so my plan is to focus mainly on this raised bed. And I grew some onions in here at the very beginning of the year in February and March, and they did really well. So I'm going to amend this soil, and I'm going to grow carrots and beets in here, I believe is what I will do. And then over here I have a metal raised bed that at one time I had strawberries in. I haven't used this in over a year, actually, because of the heat. I haven't really pursued a lot of my gardening interests, and you can see this has been sitting here. It's still pretty good soil. It's a little crusty on top in some areas, as expected, but again, I'm going to amend this, put some compost in here, and this will be great. I have a video on when I created this, and I used the hugelkultur method, where I put almost the bottom half of this is limbs and twigs and leaves and branches of stuff. Anyway, this has been breaking down, and that's why the soil level has dropped. Originally, when I set this up, the soil level was up to this screw here, and it has dropped 3 or 4 inches there, and that's expected. I mean, not only are the logs breaking down, but the soil itself, organic matter, is breaking down, and it's compacting and whatnot, so it's doing what it's supposed to do. Should have some pretty good nutrients in there along the process, and then some soil biology should be in there. Probably not a whole lot, but after I add some compost, and I'm going to put some alfalfa pellets. I bought some alfalfa pellets. I've used them before. I'm going to see how those work if I just stick with those and get away maybe from so much fertilizer being applied. So these larger ones here, I'll probably just use the soil out of these. I don't think I'll be using these in the fall. These are still in great shape, you can tell. These have been really good grow bags, and these are Vivasun grow bags. I've talked about them before. I got several videos on grow bags and comparisons of grow bags and whatnot, and I'll probably do some more. I've just had a lot of experience with them because I have particularly just been container gardening using grow bags for the last almost 4 years now. And so that's my plan for the fall, and so I'm going to get started. I already went and bought some compost. I don't have a compost bin. I do have a compost bin full of leaves, but I haven't been tending to it, adding water. It has broke down some, And I can use it as mulch on top, but I do have straw that I like to use. That's probably my favorite, is just regular straw. This is Easy Straw. You can get this off of eBay, but some nurseries carry it. It's really fine cut. That's why I like it. It'll spread easy, and then it'll pack down a little bit and do its job. You can see the soil in here. I have not been watering this or anything. It's just been sitting here. This will get reused. You know, it'll just get broken up, amended, and reused. You really don't have to throw away your dirt. It's expensive to replace your dirt, especially if you're doing bagged soil from the big box store or the nursery. So keep your soil. That's the reason I built this reclamation box, but I'm just not growing as many plants anymore. And we're going to probably be moving from this property, I don't know, in 2 to 3 years. And I'm kind of scaling back, knowing I'm going to have to break all this down when I move, probably, and, you know, make a place to put all this dirt. So that's the plan. So let me get started, and I'm going to try to amend some of this soil, and I'm going to get rid of some of these grow bags, and I'll catch you as soon as I get that done. So stick around. Okay guys, I just finished amending the soil. Didn't want to bore you with the bags of stuff and undoing all that and processing it, but what I did was take 2 bags of compost, and I added it to this bed and mixed it in, and then I added alfalfa pellets on top and just, you know, graded them in first 3 or 4 inches or so. So you can see it's back up to the top of that screw. This is the original level of it, so I've replenished that. And I mixed up the compost with the existing stuff that was in there. So this will be a good starting point once everything is settled in. Now I will water this and let this set. It'll probably be 2 weeks, maybe even 3 weeks before I actually put any seed in or transplants for the fall, because I'm not going to do it while it's still blazing hot. So I'm going to go by the weather, and that's really what I have to do. So I did the same thing, the same process I did to the raised bed over here, and brought the soil level up here, and you can see the alfalfa pellets there sitting on top. Now these will swell up when I water, and they'll start to break down. You know, they take a few weeks to start breaking apart, and they'll be breaking down over the next 1 to 2 years actually. So when I plant, once my plants are a decent size, have, you know, 3 or 4 true leaves on them, I'll start a water soluble fertilizer with these guys to make sure they're getting the nutrients they need, knowing that this alfalfa is going to take a bit to break down. However, the compost should be breaking down as well. So we'll see how it goes. If the plants are growing well, I'm going to leave it alone and let it do its thing. So as far as the grow bags, like I said, I'll be getting rid of some of these. I'll still have probably a few plants in here. I may try to grow some tomatoes again. You know, I haven't decided on that yet, but I know what I want to do with these 2 beds, as I mentioned. So I think this is a good start. I'll water these in now, let them set, and I'll water them every other day or so to keep them hydrated, and we'll see how it goes. So when I get my transplants and I start planting my fall crops, I'll make another video, and we'll see how things have transpired since then. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.